He is the Forbes Coaches Council member who will be doing for us a more detailed recap and to introduce to us a little about our fellowship. Let's welcome the CEO of Akin Akinpelu Learning and Development Company, Dr. Akin Akinpelu. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Mr. Governor himself, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, we honor you to be here. Her Royal Majesty, the Queen Consort of Warri, Ogiame Atuwase III, we welcome you. I want to also appreciate Mr. Felado Toye for being here this morning and all our guests. I'm here to just do a recap of what happened at the conference yesterday, and this is the summary briefing. The Elevate Africa Convening 2024 commenced with Daniel Ekunebo, the co-founder of ACE Analytics, delivering a powerful opening address on behalf of His Majesty and Her Royal Highness. He highlighted that Elevate Africa is not just a movement, but a transformative call to action aimed at reshaping Africa and the world. Daniel emphasized Africa's potential in global markets, underscored by its natural resources, which is vast, human capital, and the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. He stressed the importance of unity, integrity, and the reclamation of Africa's narrative from external influences. Following this opening speech, Her Royal Majesty Ogiame Atuwase III delivered an inspiring vision, casting message, calling for a shift in how Africa is portrayed globally. She critiqued the external false narratives dominated by Western media and urged Africans to take control of their own stories. Highlighting the continent's resilience, innovation, and cultural richness, she positioned Elevate Africa as a Pan-African initiative designed to foster collaboration amongst nations. She pointed out the significance of initiatives like Augmented European Tech Solution for the Blind as examples of homegrown solutions that need support and global recognition. Ogiame Atuwase III outlined three pillars of Elevate Africa. Number one, convening, a platform for developing actionable solutions. Number two, fellowships, programs aimed at nurturing African leaders with skills to address the continent's challenges. Three, media, focused on rewriting the African narrative by telling authentic stories of African innovation and leadership. Then we proceeded, we had goodwill messages. First from House of Rep member, Kim Schofield, delivered a powerful message, elevating Africa as a transformative movement that extends beyond just a platform to become a force for unity, innovation, and resilience. She emphasized that Africa's greatest asset lies in its people, creativity, and capacity for leadership. Schofield stressed the need for Africans to take control of their narrative by celebrating the continent's achievements, strength, and potential. Her message underscored the importance of partnerships that foster progress, urging a collective focus on reshaping Africa's global message. She concluded with a call to action, stating, "When one rises, we all rise," highlighting the necessity for continuous alignment and partnership to elevate Africa on the world stage. Immediately after that, Her Excellency Atiefete Jahaga emphasized Africa's immense potential to reshape its narrative, drawing parallels between our presidential Kosovo's journey and Africa's efforts to overcome global stereotypes. She praised the continent's youth and women as key drivers of innovation and change, calling for leadership that prioritizes inclusivity and empowerment. Jahaga encouraged African leaders to trust their instincts, embrace people-centered governance, and lead with authenticity. She concluded with a vision of Africa as a continent full of untapped opportunities, a continent of limitless potential. Representing Nigeria's First Lady, Hajia Nana Shatima, spoke passionately about the dawn of a new era for Africa, focusing on the role of the youth in driving innovation and progress. She announced initiatives like the 3 million tech fund and national loan scheme aimed at empowering young Africans to develop creative solutions to the continent's challenges. The message was a call for the youth to lead the change towards a prosperous Africa, highlighting their potential to transform the continent into a hub of technological and economic innovation. Immediately after that, we had the First Lady of Kwara State, Olufolake Abdulrazak. She highlighted the potential of Africa's youth, describing it as the continent's greatest asset. She praised initiatives like the Kwara Learn program for integrating technology into education, equipping students with the skills necessary to solve Africa's unique challenges. The First Lady emphasized that by 2050, Africa's youthful energy will be the driving force behind its global leadership, urging continued investment in education and technology to fully harness this potential. Then we proceeded straight into the first panel session where we were talking about elevated leadership for Africa's future. This was moderated by the senior editor CNN Africa, Stephanie Busari. In that panel session, Her Excellency Amina Gorib Fakim emphasized mobilizing science, technology, and education as tools for economic growth. She called for reforms to address Africa's brain drain and prepare its youth for the global stage. Dr. Walton Ekudayo Gilpin highlighted the need for unified leadership to overcome Africa's internal divisions. He called for collaboration across sectors to drive inclusive economic development. Tim Hanston discussed the importance of changing the global perception of Africa from a continent of problems to one of potential and opportunity. He stressed that good governance and youth investment are keys to this transformation. Then we have the Lord Mayor from Uganda, Fabrice Rulinda, urged a shift from policy discussion to concrete actions, emphasizing the need for our political leaders to serve the public rather than personal gain. Key takeaways from that personal session: unified vision and leadership. Number two, education and technology, collaboration and accountability. Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, represented by Dr. Abdul Kapmara, highlighted Africa's Development Bank's commitment to enhancing trade and regional integration under the High Five agenda. Light up Africa, feed Africa, industrialize Africa, integrate Africa, and improve the quality of life for Africans. Immediately after that, we moved into the second panel session, which was moderated by Adesua Okuborot, focused on strategies to elevate African trade. And here we dealt with elevating the African trade. In this panel session, we have Dr. Melinda Brown, and she emphasized the vital role of African diaspora in fostering strong relations and driving economic development. Sarah Maka discussed the significance of viewing Africa as a unified trading bloc, noting that with its 1.5 billion people, Africa represents a vast interconnected market that together could rival other global economies like the EU and China if internal divisions are bridged. We have Juanita Shepard. She called for transformation in the perception of Africans from a continent that is merely resource-rich to one that plays a vital role in global trade and innovation. Dr. Jane Kimemia underscored the importance of focusing on Africa's youthful demographic as a key driver for economic growth. She advocated for leveraging informal markets and local entrepreneurs, especially women, to build resilient economies that can sustain long-term development. The key highlights from that panel session: number one, regional integration; number two, youth empowerment; number three, diaspora engagement; number four, changing the global narrative. Then we had a goodwill message and closing remark. Debola Williams highlighted Africa's tremendous potential in emphasizing that by 2050, the continent will be the youngest and most populous on the planet. Debola Dejikurumi echoed previous conversations and built on them by urging Africans to consider data-driven, evidence-backed evaluations to understand the continent's privileges and strengths. The key recommendation and action points from yesterday. Number one, unite as one continent. Africa must break down the barrier of language, culture, and political differences to create a unified vision for development. Number two, revolutionize education to ignite innovation. The continent needs to transform its education system to focus on skills that drive innovation, such as technology, robotics, and entrepreneurship. Number three, strengthening collaboration between public and private sectors. Africa must foster stronger partnership between government and private sector to drive economic growth. Number four, define Africa's global narrative, global attention, and investment. Number five, invest in Africa's youth and women. Africa must focus on empowering its youth as leaders and entrepreneurs while ensuring that women play a significant and central role in economic activities. Number six, engage the African diaspora as partners in progress. The continent needs to harness the skills, knowledge, and resources of the African diaspora to boost trade and investment. Next, boost intra-African trade and regional value chains. Africa must prioritize trading within its borders by developing regional value chains that utilize each country's strength. This approach will reduce dependence on external market, keep wealth within the continent, and create a more self-sufficient economy. Eight, modernize infrastructure and trade policies. The continent needs to upgrade its infrastructure and streamline trade policies to make it easier for goods, services, and people to move across African countries. Investing in better logistics, transportation, digital networks is crucial to supporting regional integration. And the last point there is holding leaders accountable for good governance. The continent must upgrade its infrastructure and streamline trade policies to make it easier for goods, services, and people to move across African countries. Investing in better logistics, transportation, and digital network is crucial to supporting regional integration. In conclusion, day one of the Elevate Africa convening laid a solid foundation for reshaping Africa's leadership. The discussion highlighted the urgency of Africa's story, fostering collaboration across sectors. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. So in conclusion, day one of the Elevate Africa convening let's put our hands together. Thank you. In conclusion, day one of the Elevate Africa convening laid a solid foundation for reshaping Africa's leadership. The discussions highlighted the urgency of telling Africa's own story, fostering collaboration across sectors, and empowering the next generation to take charge of its continent's destiny, setting the stage for a future where Africa emerges not just as a participant, but as a leader on the global stage. His Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Elevate Africa Convening Day 2. Please have a beautiful deliberation. Thank you.